The NBA MVP award is a mirror image. It doesn't just reflect the best player of a season, it reflects what the league values most at the time. In the 1960s, it was the dominance of a center. In the 1980s, it was the leadership of a top team. Today, it's a complex debate between cutting-edge statistics, team achievements, and a compelling story, but that mirror is often distorted. Every year, a player receives the Maurice Podoloff Trophy. And every year, at least one other incredible career is left in the shadows. Today, we're not just presenting a list. We're going to conduct a historical audit of the MVP award. We will go through each era, identifying the candidates who should have won, and analyzing why they didn't, because of media bias, outdated criteria, or simply because a legitimate competitor also deserved the award. Let's establish the rules. We're not considering players who won MVP later, e.g., Michael Jordan in 1997 instead of 1990. We're looking for seasons where that player was never recognized, despite a strong, even superior, argument. This is the story of the greatest runners-up. The award was dominated by centers, Russell, Chamberlain, Abdul-Jabbar, and voted on by the players themselves until 1980. Team performance was the ultimate factor. Case 1, Jerry West, 1969-70 candidate season, 31.2 ppg, 7.5 apg, for 0.6 rpg. Leading the league in points. Lakers ranked second in the Western Conference. Who won? Willis Reed, Knicks, 21.7 ppg, 13.9 rpg. The Knicks had the best record in the league, 60-22. Why should West have won? This is a classic case of value versus best performance. Reed was the heart of the championship team, but West had a significantly better individual season. He was the Lakers' sole offensive driving force. Elgin Baylor was past his prime. Statistically, this was one of the greatest seasons a guard could have ever had. Why didn't he win? Positional bias and team performance. Voting players, up to 1980, often favored centers from top teams. Reed's dedication to the championship winning team was iconic. West, Mr. Clutch, was considered a great loser for his defeat against the Celtics. Case 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1971-72 candidate season, 34.8 ppg, 16.6 rpg, for 0.6 apg, leading the league in points. Bucks had a 63-19 record. Who won? Dave Cowens, Celtics, 20.5 ppg, 16.2 rpg. Celtics had the best record, 68-14. Why should Kareem have won? This was Kareem's statistical peak. He was the league's top scorer and rebounder, and the Bucks had a 63-game winning streak. Statistically, he was far superior to Cowens. Why didn't he win? Voter fatigue and a fresh narrative. Kareem had won MVP the previous year. Cowens, with his relentless energy and pivotal role in the Celtics' comeback from 44 to 68 wins, was a more compelling story. Voters preferred novelty. Case 3, George Gervin, 1978-79 candidate season, 29.6 ppg, league leading, 5.0 rpg, 1.1 spg. Spurs had a 48-34 record. Who won? Moses Malone, Rockets, 24.8 ppg, 17.6 rpg, league leading. Rockets had a 47-35 record. Why should Gervin have won? The Iceman was the most prolific and effective scorer, 54.5% FG for a guard, leading the Spurs to success. He and Moses had nearly identical team records. Why didn't he win? Moses' uniqueness. Moses Malone didn't just grab rebounds, he dominated it in a way not seen since Chamberlain. He was the first player to lead the league in rebounds for 3 consecutive seasons since Chamberlain. That dominance in a single area is impressive. This is a valid boundary case. The award shifted to media voting. Best player on a top team became the primary formula. Fierce competition among legends ensued. Case for a Larry Bird, 1989-90 nominees season, 24.3 ppg, 9.5 rpg, 7.5 apg, 1.8 spg, shooting 45, 33 or 93. Celtics ranked number 1 in the Eastern Conference. Who won? Magic Johnson, Lakers, 22.3 ppg, 11.5 apg, 6.6 rpg. Lakers had the best record in the Western Conference. Why should Bird have won? Bird, at age 33, had an incredible all-around season, nearly averaging a triple-double. He was the driving force behind an aging Celtics team, considering Parrish's age, McHale achieving top-tier success. Magic had a deeper and stronger roster. Why didn't he win? Voter revenge and the Magic story. Bird won 3 consecutive MVP awards, 84 to 86. There may have been fatigue. Furthermore, Magic, after years of being considered a fun player, was now recognized as a true leader, leading the Lakers without Kareem. This was Magic's 3rd and final MVP, a recognition of his entire career. Case 5, Michael Jordan, 1988-89 and 1989-901988-89 season, 32.5 ppg, 8.0 apg, 8.0 rpg, 2.9 spg. Bulls 47-35. 1989-90 season, 33.6 ppg, 6.9 rpg, 6.3 apg, 2.8 spg. Bulls 55-27. Who won? Magic Johnson, 89, and Magic Johnson, 90. Why should Jordan have won, at least once? These were Jordan's statistically dominant seasons, showcasing incredible all-around abilities. In 1989, he essentially played as a point guard and nearly averaged triple-doubles a month. He was the best defensive player, 1988 DPOY award, and the king of scoring. Why didn't he win? The Jordan fatigue and the top team formula. Voters were tired of Jordan dominating the statistics charts without winning a championship. They saw Magic as a player who makes teammates better for a team that performed better. This is why Jordan only had 5 MVPs. It was a deliberate argument that he was so outstanding that his excellence was taken for granted. He won in 1988, 1991, 1992, 1996, and 1998, when the Bulls dominated the league. K6, Karl Malone, 1996-97 candidate season, 27.4 ppg, 9.9 rpg, for 0.5 apg. Jazz had the best Western Conference record, 64-18. Who won? Michael Jordan, Bulls, 29.6 ppg, 5.9 rpg, for 0.3 apg. Bulls 69-13. Why should Malone have won? He was the best player on the top Western Conference team, a direct rival of the Bulls. The Jazz had the best record in team history. It's argued that Jordan, with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, had a superstar lineup, while Malone, along with John Stockton, carried a greater burden. Why didn't he win? Jordan's legitimacy. The Bulls achieved 69 wins, just 1 year after their record of 72 wins. Jordan was still the best player on the planet, and voters didn't want to give the award to the runner-up, Malone, when the clear winner, Jordan, was still playing. This is a case where the best player criterion triumphed over the most valuable player criterion. Advanced statistics, per WS, VORP, BPM, began to influence the debate. The role of storytelling and media effects grew increasingly significant. K7, Kobe Bryant, 2005-06 candidate season, 35.4 ppg, 5.3 rpg, 4.5 apg, 1.8 spg. One of the greatest scoring seasons of all time, 81 points, 62 points in 3 innings. Lakers 45-37. Who won? Steve Nash, Suns, 18.8 ppg, 10.5 apg. Suns 54-28. Why should Kobe have won? Individually, this was Kobe's best season. He was the most fearsome offensive force, almost single-handedly leading a mediocre Lakers team, with Smush Parker and Kwame Brown, into the playoffs. His value to the team was immense. Why didn't he win? Team performance and that 7 seconds or less movement. The vote was a poll on playing style. Nash, the previous year's MVP, represented the Suns' team first, beautiful passing style. Voters viewed Kobe's season as selfish and ineffective, despite his high actual performance. The Lakers' 45-37 record was considered too low. This is the clearest case of value being overlooked due to bias. Case 8, LeBron James, 2010-11 candidate season, 26.7 ppg, 7.5 rpg, 7.0 apg, 1.6 spg per 27.3. Heat 58-24. Who won? Derrick Rose, Bulls, 25.0 ppg, 7.7 apg, 4.1 rpg. Bulls 62-20. Why should LeBron have won? Statistically, LeBron outperformed Rose in most advanced metrics, per WS, VORP. He was a far more complete player and remains the best player on the planet. The Heat had a difficult adjustment season after the decision. Why didn't he win? The media backlash and Rose's story. Rose was the new phenomenon who brought the Bulls back to the top without an all-star teammate. "Why not Derrick Rose?" became the slogan. Voters punished LeBron for how he left Cleveland and wanted to honor a more inspiring story. This was one of the most emotional and least factual elections. Case 9, James Harden, 2018-19 candidate season, 36.1 ppg, 6.6 rpg, 7.5 apg, 2.0 spg. A historic scoring season, including a streak of 32 games with at least 30 points. Rockets went from 14-14 to 53-29. Who won? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bucks, 27.7 ppg, 12.5 rpg, 5.9 apg, 1.5 bpg. Bucks 60-22. Why should Harden have won? This was his most impressive scoring season since Jordan. Harden almost single-handedly kept the Rockets at the top of the Western Conference after injuries to Chris Paul and Clint Capela. Statistically, the difference in workload and offensive dominance was enormous. Why didn't he win? Voters grew tired of Harden and the rise of Giannis. Voters were weary of Harden's free-throw-based style of play. Giannis represented a new archetype, two-way dominance, pure sportsmanship, leading a team to the best record in the league. The vote reflected a shift in values, defense and overall efficiency. Giannis had better plus or minus and defensive ratings, were valued more highly than extremely high scoring volume. Advanced statistics completely dominated the debate. Metrics like Raptor, EPM, and LeBron became the common language. Accumulated value, a VORP, win shares, became crucial. Case 10, Joel Embiid, 2021-22 candidate season, 30.6 ppg, league leading, 11.7 rpg, 4.2 apg, 1.5 bpg. The 76ers had a 51-31 record. Who won? Nikola Jokic, Nuggets, 27.1 ppg, 13.8 rpg, 7.9 apg. Nuggets 48-34. Why should Embiid have won? He was a scoring king, a top-tier defensive force, DPOY candidate, and led the Sixers to a better record without an all-star teammate. Ben Simmons didn't play. He has a powerful story of improvement and dominance. Why didn't he win? Jokic's enhanced statistical dominance. Jokic achieved unprecedented numbers, historic per all-time high VORP for a single season. Enhanced metrics considered his season one of the greatest ever. Modern voters, influenced by these numbers, viewed Jokic as having superior value despite lower team performance. This is a perfect example of how metrics reshape the definition of value. Case 11, Luka Doncic, 2022-23 candidate season, 32.4 PPG, 8.6 RPG, 8.0 APG. Another season of statistical dominance. Who won? Joel Embiid, 76ers, 33.1 PPG, 10.2 RPG, 4.2 APG. 76ers 54-28. Why should Luka have won? Luka carried an enormous burden for the Mavericks, leading the league in usage and producing massive numbers. The Mavericks were completely dependent on him. Why didn't he win? Team performance and Embiid's debt. The Mavericks failed to make the playoffs. Historically, that's unacceptable for an MVP, except for Westbrook in 2017. Embiid, after years as a contender, finally had a season with massive scoring and team performance. This is a combination of the old criteria, performance, and accumulated debt. So, what can we learn from this historical audit? The MVP award has never been just for the best player. It's an ever-changing mix of team performance, media narrative, positional bias, voter fatigue, and more recently, enhanced statistics. The criteria change with the times. From championship-winning centers, the 60s, to top-tier guards, the 80s, to statistical superstars, the 2000s, to all-around effective distributors, now. Mistake is often a matter of timing. Jerry West would win in today's era. Kobe Bryant in 2006 would win if team performance were better. James Harden in 2019 would win if there were no bias towards playing style. True greatness often transcends the award. Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and their legacies weren't tainted by one or two missed MVP awards. We remember them for their championship rings and their enduring dominance. Ultimately, the MVP debate is what keeps the NBA alive. It forces us to define what matters. So the next time you see an MVP debate, remember, you're not just debating one season. You're debating the very essence of the game.